It's 2026 Moontower Comedy Festival. So excited to be here again. Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents with me, your host Valerie, and sometime Kitty co-hosts. Miss Purrington and Mookie are resting at home. These are my recordings with some of the best of 2026 Moontower Comedy Festival performers. ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy. In addition to podcasts, Comedy Wham brings you articles, album reviews, show reviews, our advice column, our listing of festivals from across the country and the world, our FPIA contest page, and my articles for the Austin Chronicle, thebarbedwire.com, and the San Antonio Current about the Austin and Central Texas comedy scenes. Our most popular features are events page for live comedy shows in Austin, Houston, and DFW, where 100% of the entries you see come from comics and producers. Click the Submit a Show button from the top of the homepage or events page to fill out the survey to get your show listed. It's free and easy. Tag us on your Instagram stories and we'll share your show promo to our followers. We also offer paid promo pushes on Instagram. Speaking of events, come check out my new passion project show, Improv Vintage. You bring a vintage item and we turn it into comedy gold in a fully improvised performance. Want to support these resources we provide? You can donate to Comedy Wham on Venmo or Patreon. Click the Support CW icon on our homepage to see the ways that you can help us. Our podcast was launched in 2016 to bring you funny people and their stories. As a fan, I like to delve into a comic's background and motivations, and will usually take a detour along the way. Consider the interview a way for you to get to know how the comedy scene is as fascinating offstage as it is on stage. If you like this podcast, please rate and review us. And now we're going to join our Comedy Wham Presents Moontower 2026 conversation in progress.
I flew in yesterday, yeah.
And you haven't been back to Austin in forever.
Oh man, I think it's been, if it was, let's say 1990, just to be safe, that's 36 years ago. I can't believe how long I've been on this
tall
planet.
Buildings.
I know.
So many tall buildings
yes.
now.
Yes.
Yes. Oh goodness. Okay.
But it's a beautiful. It's got some real beautiful things down here. I stopped in at the visitor center and they pointed out some very interesting things that I want to go see, like O. Henry's house and Susan Dickinson's house.
Yeah.
Which is not far from where I'm staying, which is great. And then I want to go down on Congress, the opposite way from the Capitol to like fun shops and stuff.
Okay. All right. And did somebody recommend South Congress?
Yes.
And those fun
Why?
shops?
Are you telling me that they're not fun?
Well, no. It is fun, but it's changed. Since
they
the
just
90s.
did.
Yeah. Okay.
They just did.
Yeah.
So
a lot. Yeah.
Do you still like it here?
I do. But I was telling somebody yesterday,
Yes.
I really like it because I live outside of town and I work from home. So I don't have to deal with the commuting.
Good.
And I can come in, deal with the traffic every once in a blue moon.
Right.
And enjoy
Right.
everything that I need.
Right. Right.
So that's the magic trick.
Right.
Okay. Well, today we are recording live on location at the Stephen F. Austin Hotel Lounge for the 2026 Moontower Comedy Festival. Our guest today has been on late night shows at least 10 times, spanning Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, Jimmy Fallon. Her 1991 special One Night Stand helped her land the 1992 American Comedy Awards Best Female Comic with an honorable mention, this is just my interjection,
Yes.
for Best Eye Roll. She's written for legendary shows like Roseanne, Caroline in the City, King of Queens, and even more. You've seen her on screen in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, The Three Stooges.
Cult classic, yes. People. I get young people telling me. They're not that young anymore, but telling me how much they love that movie.
That's amazing.
It's really endured. Yes.
One of my favorites, and I think the best sitcom comedy of all time, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes.
How to Get Away with Murder, I'm Dying Up Here, and more.
Yes, and I just shot an episode of Nobody Wants This, which is God, I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
I think, and so that was exciting. That's very exciting. It's very popular.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and now Comedy Wham presents. You've already heard her voice. Our guest, Cathy
Oh,
Ladman.
that's right. I wasn't supposed to talk.
That's
huh?
fine. No.
I'm so blabby. Yes. Okay. I never know the protocol. Some people want you to shut up. Some people say chime in. So.
Well, from here on out, this is your show.
Okay.
This is all about
All right.
you.
I'll shut up now.
No, oh my God, nobody wants to hear me talk, I assure
right.
you. I'm just gonna go total, I probably shouldn't do this at the very beginning. Let me say my first question that I always ask somebody is one word to describe your past.
My past? Oh boy, that's hard. One word to describe my past. Courageous.
Okay. Do you want to tell me more about why that word popped up?
Because I did something, I did with my life something that I was not really raised to do and not encouraged to do. And I have kind of walked through a lot of fears in my life, personally and professionally. And I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that you can get beyond them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not been, it's been hard. It's definitely been hard.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I did it.
Yeah, and for some, for somebody like me who just does all the research and looks into somebody's career, I mean, you've had a very rich career, lots of writing, acting, the stand-up, it's all there, and it's. I guess sometimes at the end of these conversations, people say, "Wow, you made me realize how much I've done." And sometimes you don't reflect on that, in your day-to-day when you're, you got deadlines, you got whatever.
You're very right about that. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I have done a lot, and there are times when that lady. There are times. Lady, shut up. There are times when. This business is so much about what's next, what's next, what's next. What have you done lately?
Yeah.
And there's very little taking stock that's encouraged. And I've done a lot.
And you also live in the land of what can you do for me?
Exactly. Exactly. If anyone's guessing where that is, it's Los Angeles.
Right.
Yes. It's full of bullshit. Yeah. Yeah.
One fun little trivia fact for myself is that I think it was in spring of last year, I got the absolute honor to talk to George Wallace.
Oh, I love George.
And I was listening to, I forgot whose podcast. You were a guest on the podcast. Or maybe, and it talked about your relationship with Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
This is my paparazzi moment.
Yes, yes.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to meet another person that puts me at another second degree of separation from the legend.
Yes.
But, George talked so warmly about Jerry and they're coming up. And in this interview that I was listening to with you, you talked about that period of time at the Comedy Store when basically you had this group of comics, young comics coming up. What was that like, especially as a woman?
I would say did I talk about it at the Comedy Store or earlier in New York? Because it was really I had both experiences.
Okay.
Because when I started, it was 1981. It was New York, and it was really the sweetest time of my career because we really didn't need much money to survive, and all we were doing was getting better. That's all we wanted to do was get better at what we did. And we worked on our craft constantly. And we were supportive of one another, and it was very stimulating. And plus, being in New York is so stimulating. I've always found New York, just way more stimulating than Los Angeles. Because there's a heartbeat there that just doesn't exist in LA. But I miss those times because as you move farther along as I have moved farther along in my career, and I think this is not uncommon, I found that I become more and more isolated from the camaraderie. And that can get lonely.
Yeah.
It's a pretty lonely endeavor, and that's why I like having a writing partner and I like having friends who are simpatico, who either do what I do or understand what I do. I mean, look, my best friend of 50 years is somebody I met when I was teaching for 1 year.
Wow.
I taught English for 1 year in 1976, 77. And she and I were roommates, and we've been best friends since then.
Wow.
And I'm going to see her next month, actually. And she's not a comic, but she's one of the smartest, funniest, kindest people I know. And so those are the kind of things that are important to me in my life, those kind of touchstones, surrounding myself with those people. But we're all at this point in our careers way more, I don't know what the word, what does the word bifurcated mean? It's not the word.
It means like segregated into different.
Then maybe that is the word I'm looking for.
I'm in the pension industry. That's my day job. And bifurcate is actually a legislated term. So that's the trivia, fun fact for the day is bifurcate, to divide or fork into two branches, right? So that's not what I mean. I mean, very. That's my friend who just wrote to me. She said she knows you're talking about it.
She said about Austin. She said the one and only place in Texas worth keeping in the union. Yes,
well,
I mean,
and even that's become debate.
I understand. I understand. But anyway, we've all become very separate in our endeavors, and it's important to convene every now and then, but it's not as organic as it used to be, where we were all going to the same places all the time.
Yeah. So you said you met her while you were teaching.
I was teaching, yes.
Was that your initial profession?
No, I mean, I never wanted to do that. I got a teaching degree, a certificate to fall back on, and I immediately fell back on it because I was too scared to do this. I was really too scared. And I was 19 when I graduated from college, and I didn't know what I was doing. And then when I was 20, I got this teaching job. And I was teaching 13-year-olds at age 20, which is bizarre. I was teaching 8th grade English. And it just further cemented. And I still know some of my students today, which is really nice, And it just further cemented the fact that I didn't want to do this, But I'd become interested in comedy since I was about 8 years old. I used to listen to my parents' comedy albums. I watched everything I could watch on TV. I watched Ed Sullivan. I watched all the comics on that. If I could when I could stay up late, I would watch The Tonight Show. So,
how surreal was that then, to be able to be on The Tonight Show?
Very surreal. Wow. Very surreal.
Wow.
Yes.
So what was the little spark that lit for you to actually get up on stage and do it?
I think I finally got, I became the fear that I was feeling became less motivating than the need and desire to do it. It was like the seesaw tilted. It just tilted in that direction, and I said, I've got to do this because it's gnawing away at me, and I can't make that go away.
You can't know if it's the right thing for you until you actually.
I knew it was the right thing. I really did know it was the right thing. I had an innate sense that this was what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But I was so afraid of failing. I did not have a lot of self-confidence. I still lack in that department. And I also didn't have, certainly not a family encouraging me to go for my heart, and I didn't really have many. I mean, I guess Cathy, who's also my friend, her name is Cathy with a K. I'm Cathy with a C. And, she encouraged me because she found me so entertaining. So, I mean, to have that kind of, that audience in her and that understanding with her probably made it more exciting for me and more encouraging for me to take a stab at it.
Had you done any performance in school or
camp? I did performance, and that's really what made me. I was in Once Upon a
Original
Mattress.
Spark?
Yes, I was in Once Upon a Mattress in camp. I played Princess Winifred, and it was like the best experience of my
Wow.
life up to that point. And I knew that I had to perform. I knew I had to perform. But it really took. And then when I was in Philly, that's where I was teaching.
Okay.
At the end of that school year, before I thought I was going to move to California. So, which I did, but I lasted only 4 months. So I went up at this place in Philly, an open mic place called. It was a showcase club called Grandma Minnie's, and I went up 2 weeks in a row. And then I moved to LA, didn't go near a comedy club or a stage, got into a car accident. Nobody was hurt, but my car was totaled. No, it wasn't totaled. It was in bad shape, but it was repairable. Sold my car, flew back, moved in with my parents, and just was miserable for 3 years doing grunt work.
3 years.
Yeah. I guess it was from age, maybe not 3 years, maybe 2. Let me think. I landed on February 5th, 1978, and I remember this because it was the big blizzard of that year in New York. And I took the first job that was offered to me. That's how little I thought of myself, you know. And I, really just floundered, but was inventive in what I was doing with my time. I did not stay in the corporate world for very long at all. I went into sales, and I liked sales because I liked talking to people. Yeah, and so that was, I guess that was like I started doing comedy. Well, I started in '81, so I guess it was not 3 years. Maybe it was 2 years after I came back. Yeah.
So then you picked back up in New York.
Yeah, and then I did not look back.
Never look back.
That was a straight shot to today. Yeah.
So one of the questions that I often have for somebody that does the acting, the stand-up, the writing is, what was the first? So stand-up was the first.
Oh yeah. I mean, unless you count the play that I was in camp. And I was going to major in theater in college, but I didn't feel a connection. I didn't feel really simpatico with that department of people. I just didn't find my place there. So I majored in English education, and then I did a second major, an interdisciplinary major of media and communications, where I studied cinema and speech and all things that I could kind of put together in that kind of mishmash.
So even early on, you knew you were a dabbler.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I always loved movies from very, very early on. I was just telling my friend downstairs that in New York they had this weekly movie called $1 Million Movie, and they showed one movie each week 11 times. And I would watch several times if I really liked it. But one week I watched the movie Summer Stock with Judy Garland and Gene Kelly all 11 times. And and I said to him, apparently I didn't either go to school or have a job.
Yeah.
But I was like 10 years old, yeah. And I loved movies. I used to watch movies like constantly, and old movies from like the 30s and 40s and then the 50s when, I was born in the 50s, so when I was in the 60s, the 50s weren't that much of a history then,
Yeah. So for, just kind of as a history lesson, because, you're here at Moontower, which is very young.
Yes. How many years has it been?
Well, Moontower, I think, has been going for, it's either 14 or 15 years.
Okay.
But the comics tend to be very young comics.
Yes, so young. I'm like grandma comedy here. Yeah.
So I want you to take us back to that like 1980s comedy scene, because people will look back on that and say, oh my God, a legendary historical time.
I learned so much, so fast.
Yeah.
First of all, I was in New York where there was plenty of stage time to be had.
Yeah.
And the talent around me that I got to watch and learn from was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, and it was irreplaceable. It was thrilling. It was informative. It was supportive. You know, it was a lot of things that kept me in the game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that hasn't changed all that. I guess I can't say that. There are a lot of very well-known female comics today, but I feel like in the 80s and even into the 90s, that was not. You were a rare commodity.
Yes, definitely. Oh yeah, there are way more women doing comedy today. Yeah.
And I imagine it wasn't always, rainbows and puppies.
No.
Yeah.
I remember this one booker, whom I'll not name, calling him one day to get some work and saying, well, how about this weekend? He goes, I already have another girl on that show. A, he said girl, which nothing feels as horrible as hearing that. And B, why not? I mean, because it was so sex. I mean, he's just a sexist person, I think. But it's still today. I think that when you never bill a show as an all-male show, but no one really resists doing that with women. You know.
Yeah.
And I think it's irritating.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah.
We're treated like novelty acts a lot, and we certainly like exponentially back then.
Yeah. Are there any like legendary moments that you remember from those days of people that back then might have been just known around the comedy club circuit, but then became the big household names that you know?
Well, I mean, I was pals with Susie Essman. I was pals with Joy Behar, and we used to just do that. There was this one club that was started in the Village called Comedy U, and it was started as a comedy club for women, for female comics, and it was great. It was really great, and that's where I hung out with those women mostly. I mean, Susie and I used to do the comic strip a lot on the Upper East Side.
I had no idea that Joy has a background in comedy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's funny, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. When did you feel like the comedy was like, you have some of the things that you've said make me think that you still kind of grapple with, have I achieved the pinnacle that I'm seeking?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there are a handful of people who feel that they have. I think it's more common to still, as someone said, the goalposts keep moving, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember when I booked my first network pilot, it didn't take me but a half hour to think this isn't enough.
Oh.
I mean, and that's not good.
Yeah.
Because I'm much improved in this department. I'm way more appreciative of what I have in the moment.
Yeah.
But then you get the Tonight Show, and then what's after that, and
another Tonight Show.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought I would be a sitcom, a series regular on a sitcom.
Yeah.
I just thought I was kind of made for that, and I haven't given up on that, because I look at Doris Roberts and what she did on Everybody Loves Raymond, and she was a fine actor for years in television and theater, and film also. But I mean, that was just kismet when she found that.
Yeah.
So I haven't given up.
Nor should you.
No, I haven't given up, and I'm not done.
Yeah. Do you? Was One Night Stand your first special?
No. Young Comedians, the HBO Young Comedians special was my first special that I shot in New Orleans. And I remember the review I got from TV Guide. There were five of us on that show. It was hosted by Paul Rodriguez, and Paul Dillery, who's a dear friend of mine today, was on that show. Haywood Banks from Michigan, Richard Jenny, myself, and Rick Reynolds. So there was Paul plus 5 of us. And TV Guide had written a review of it when it came out. And he reviewed several individual acts from the special. And at the bottom he said, Paul Dillery and Cathy Ladman are probably very nice people. They're just not funny.
Wow.
I know, that's really. I'm sure it was painful when it happened, but
sure.
To me it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
And then when I won my comedy award, I think I was sitting at the same table as that guy.
Nice.
Which I loved, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and for those of us that grew up knowing what TV Guide is, we don't often associate TV Guide with roasting journalism.
No, nor important journalism, might I say.
Yes.
But, what was I going to say? It's very important, and this is a big challenge for me. It's very important to be able to hold on to my self-worth when I'm not getting it from the audience, the business, whatever. It's very important, and I think that's important for every human being.
Yeah.
To be able to hold on to one's self-worth. Mm-hmm. And it's very mercurial. And it's certainly when you're getting the immediate feedback or not. From an audience, it's very easy to go down that path of, shit, I suck. Yeah. And that's something that I've worked on. I've really worked on that.
Yeah. The One Night Stand special was just so classically funny to me.
God, and I can't even watch that. Oops, sorry.
And I was going to say, to me, it just captures that 80s and 90s vibe, and I don't know how else better to say it. It's so.
I don't know. I just
90s.
Mugged too much.
And I wrote the eye roll. I mean, there were just so many eye rolls.
Yes, so many eye rolls. It was just a little bit much. It was a little bit much, and I was young. I mean, considering that I've been doing stand-up now for almost 45 years, I'd only been doing stand-up when I did that for 9 or 10 years. I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah. So you can't watch it.
I mean, when I did my first Tonight Show, I'd only been doing it for 8 years.
Yeah, that's
nothing.
fast.
And that's uncomfortable for me to watch too, because I'm a way better comic now than I was then. I mean, let's hope so. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the writing? Because you were still in New York.
No, I moved to LA in '85.
Okay, but this isn't the 4-month stint.
Say it again.
You said you had moved to LA, but then left right away.
No, right. That was it. That was in '77.
Okay,
I moved and moved back in '78.
So
I moved with a boyfriend in '85, and then he and I split up. When we came back to New York, we split up. But I, and it was funny because my father assumed I wasn't going to be moving out, and I said, no, I'm still moving out. And I don't know why, but I just thought, I found a place at the Comedy Store. I have a stage, and I want to try something. Yeah. So I moved out.
Yeah. And so then you start, because it's LA in the 80s, there's more writing opportunities.
Well, I never really wanted to be a writer.
Okay, so was acting first then?
Acting and stand-up, yes, definitely. But what happened with the writing was that I had been at the Comedy Store with Roseanne and Lois Bromfield. These are the two important characters in this story. And I was with a new management company, and my work had slowed down. It was like '94. It was really starting to peter out a bit. And I had an offer to write on Roseanne because Roseanne was looking for more women, and Lois recommended me. And I didn't have to write a spec script. I didn't have to do anything. Wow. I know.
That's golden.
I know.
Wow.
So I took the job, and it was not what I wanted to do. I mean, I did a lot of crying on that job, and then the next year, and then I didn't go back the following year. She didn't hire me back because there was a mishap between us. It's a long story that I won't go into, but it was bullshit. Anyway, it was my words being twisted by somebody awful in the press. Anyway.
That hasn't changed about modern times.
No. I mean, people want a story and they make their story.
Yeah.
But then the next year I wrote on Caroline in the City, and I just wasn't happy, and I left like about 2/3 of the way into the season. I just didn't want to write on a show, and then I went, and then I did, I went back to writing a couple more times, as just kind of stopgap measures, but it's not my first love.
Interesting.
Performing is my first love.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think
because as a stand-up, writing is so essential.
It is essential, but it's not my first love. My first love, I mean, I love writing
on the stage.
I don't like writing by myself. I mean, there are writers I know that love writing by themselves. I do not like the solitary nature of it.
Yeah.
I like writing with a partner. But performing is really, that's what turns me on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if those two writing experiences didn't pan out the way you wanted, you probably made such invaluable connections.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
And then you can do more of the acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember what your first acting gig was?
Yeah. Let me think. I think it was on the Dolly Parton variety show.
Oh my gosh.
But they cut my part, but they still paid me, so I didn't get on. I didn't actually get on camera, so I can't remember what the very. Oh yes, I do remember what the first thing was. It was a pilot for Chuck Barris. It was a courtroom pilot, and I have a very good friend that I met doing that, and they used tons of comics on this one. Kevin Pollak was one of the comics they used, like as they used all of us, all the comics in that. So that and that's the one that got me my SAG card.
Ah,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
that sounds like a golden ticket. Once you get that card.
Well, you're there with like tens of thousands of other people, and the business in LA the acting business has gotten so slow because so much of the production has left the city. It's just became too expensive. But that's why it was so exciting that I just booked that part on Nobody Wants This, because it had been like a desert for me for so long. My age, making, giving me fewer opportunities, audition opportunities, and then also compounding that, it's just that there's not a lot of production out in LA anymore.
Yeah.
So
I get, because you and I are in the gray hair club.
Yes.
I guess this is kind of universal, but whenever I do watch a show or a movie, I'm always paying attention to who are the older actors that are in there, and there's always an older actor. So in anything, so it's always like stunning to hear that feeling or that sense that it's hard to get.
Well, there were just fewer. There were fewer parts. I mean, the television is a young person's game for the most part. If you look at the whole landscape of it, when you're in your 20s and 30s, those are your
But then you happen upon a Doris Roberts, or Euphoria is a very young show, but you've got Martha Kelly who is just crushing it.
Right.
And I'm like, I just have to believe there's a place for us.
Oh yeah, absolutely, there is. There is.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is people telling us that there's not a place for us. But it is, there are fewer and farther between.
Yeah.
But they're important roles. They're definitely important roles. I mean, I just booked a role that I'm going to shoot in May in Bill Hader's new film, which I'm so excited.
Oh, very
He's
cool.
starring and directing and wrote it. And I am like thrilled to be working with him. I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah. Oh my God, Barry.
I know.
Absolutely.
What a great show, huh?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I love those actors who started off as comics or in the comedy scene. Obviously everybody knows him from SNL, who then turn into like really strong and dramatic actors.
Right. I mean, look at Michael Keaton. He began as a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
What a great actor.
Yeah, yeah. Do you, I guess because you have such a very long history in acting, do you have a preference for the dramatic role or the comedic role?
No, I just like something
You
that's
just like
well
to be
written.
on stage and
You know,
filmed.
yes, but something that's well written. I really I don't want to be in some poorly written
Yeah, yeah.
crappy thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't. You know, I remember one time I was offered an audition to play a bad. This is relatively early in my stand-up career. I would say, like late '80s. You know, I was offered to audition for the role of a bad stand-up comic, and I said, I can't do that. I can't do that at this stage in my career. I'm not well known enough. That will give people the impression that I'm a bad stand-up comic.
Right.
So, you know, you have to be, everybody, hopefully you have representatives who want the best for you.
Yeah.
But they also want you to work.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to be a little discriminating.
Yeah, yeah. They can't all be Will Arnett and
Right.
right out the box, just crushing it, and getting booked.
Right.
It's funny to hear you say you like a role that's well written, because I'm just hearing like this undercurrent of respect for the writing process.
I have a
hate it.
I just don't like this. I don't like this. It intimidates me more than anything. And I love language. I have a great respect for words and how to use them.
Yeah.
And I think the better your vocabulary, the more you can express yourself clearly, and the better you connect to people.
Yeah.
I mean, language is everything.
Yeah.
It really is. So I respect when someone knows how to use language and knows character. That's really important.
Yeah.
If a writer can write to character. I mean, that's why I loved like the Mary Tyler Moore Show and the Dick Van Dyke Show are my two favorite sitcoms.
Writing. Oh my God, Dick Van Dyke, love.
I just watched it again, the whole series recently.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get through the whole thing, but because when I grew up, I was watching it.
Yes.
Through the
reruns.
Reruns.
Yes.
I remember that was just like my daily watch.
I met him one time, and I said to him, I was at Paula Poundstone's ping pong party. She has a lot of ping pong parties. Paula Poundstone's ping pong party, and he was there, and I went up to him and I said, I just have to tell you, first of all, I'm a huge fan, but I used to make believe I was sick every day. I told my mother I was sick every day so I could stay home and watch your show, and I did.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't believe me, and she sent me to school sick one time, and when I came home and I had 105 fever, and I was homesick for 3 weeks. And boy, did I watch the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah, I think I recently, maybe a few years back, was trying to go through a rewatch of it, and I got sidetracked. But now, having this conversation, I need to go back.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, so
yeah.
excellent. I had a question. Okay, so of the many acting roles that you've had, can you pick a favorite?
Well,
and if not, I'm gonna ask a follow-up question about the one that is closest to my heart.
Well, I mean, I love the Three Stoogettes that I did.
Yeah.
Even though we were told to cease and desist by the Howard family, the Howard estate.
Oh, boy.
Who knew that that Curly Howard had an estate? But that to me was the most fun I ever had.
Because you wrote?
I did not. And a boyfriend of mine wrote it. It was a film by Cathy Ladman because I was the comic, and I was. They would not give him that because I was the comic on Sunday Comics. Okay. So that was not my favorite thing that they did, but yes, he wrote it, and he's the only boyfriend that I had that I never wanted to see again. And he's gone. He was a drug addict. But it was a very, very funny idea, and he wrote two great scripts, I thought.
Yeah, yeah. So what are your favorite moments from that whole experience?
From that experience?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, working with the women I worked with, Judy Toll, who's no longer with us, unfortunately, hilarious woman.
Yeah.
Just the funniest woman I've ever met, probably. She played Larietta, and Judy Nazametz played Curly Ann, and working with them was just delightful.
Yeah.
I mean, we broke up so many times. In fact, there's one edit in one of them where they made the edit as close as they could, but you can see me breaking. I can see me breaking, definitely.
Yeah.
But it was just so fucking fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Okay.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is, I'm such a fan of Curb.
Oh my God, that was so fun.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite.
Okay, great.
And because, I'll tell you why, because, well, it's not written. It's a skeletal storyline.
Amazing. Yeah.
And I really took to the format of it. You know who your character is, you know where the scene's starting, and you know where it's ending. And then you shoot several times, and the director says, that's great, keep that in, lose that, don't forget to bring this in. And that's how you just build it. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And working with these people, you know, Richard Lewis and Larry David, it was, you know, so fun. And then Bob Whitey was my director on the first. I did Curb twice, and Bob Whitey was the director on the first one I did, and he's a great guy, and I'm still friends with him, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a great experience.
Yeah. Anybody that says they love Seinfeld, the show Seinfeld.
Yes.
I say, you know, to me, Curb is like Seinfeld, but just where you don't have to worry about the censors, and it's just.
Yes. Yeah, and it's a little more. It's a bit more visceral. I think.
Yeah, and just
the organic, just the quality of creating it on the spot is also just so great.
But that also leans into the relationships
Yes.
that Larry David has with all of these people. I mean, the interactions between him and Richard Lewis are just you know that is from the heart.
I know.
And love.
I remember this one scene between them when he says something, he goes, that's very funny, I'm not going to laugh though. And you know that he wanted to laugh. It was so funny. Oh my God.
And the heartbreak of their final season, the final episode wraps, and then Richard passes
I know.
within a year.
If
that. Yeah.
I mean, I loved Richard Lewis, and I had heard about him for years, and I'd never seen him, but I was watching him. I don't know if this was before I started doing stand-up, or I'm not sure if it was before or after I started doing stand-up. I know where I was living because I can see where I'm in bed and where uncomfortably watching the TV to the side. It was just ridiculous. Anyway, so I'm watching him, and he's on panel on Letterman, and he's telling the story about how he grew up in Teaneck, New Jersey, and his family was we were not very spontaneous. He said, one time we were going to take a vacation driving cross country, and we were backing out of our driveway in Teaneck, New Jersey, and I heard something jingling in the front seat, and I said to my mom, "What's that?" And she said, "Oh, it's nothing, it's nothing." It was the toll for the Golden Gate Bridge.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
I would probably be best friends with his mom. Knowing how
I know, I get it too. I get it too. But what a great joke!
That is a great joke.
What a great joke!
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, let's pivot to modern day and the things that you're doing more recently. I know you do shows in LA. You have one actually coming up later this month. I don't remember everything about it, but it's for a cause.
Oh yes, it's to support the Democratic Party and.
Yeah. Oh my God, California is all over the news with.
Oh my God.
Everybody's going to be biting their nails.
I mean, it's
on
the
what
fourth
happens.
largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, this is important.
Yeah.
You know, this is important.
Yeah. And you are here at Moontower. I assume this is your first.
It was my first Moontower. Yes.
And how did it feel? Because it's you don't submit for this festival,
right?
How did it feel getting the call or the message?
I was happy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd always wanted to do this because it seemed just like an appealing concept. This festival. I like Austin, and I thought it sounded very invigorating.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm doing a lot of shows. I
You
think.
are doing a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some people that get maybe one a night. You're getting like two,
And
maybe
three, I think, maybe 3 Friday, which I'm going to find out. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, you're among the legends that are here. You know, there's Yakov Smirnoff is here, which is just kind of like crazy.
Yes.
He's here, and I know it's just your first full day here, but
Yes.
One of the things that is always described to me as the feeling from the comics perspective is it's like summer camp. You get to
Yes.
you know, talk to other comics. And,
Yes.
You know, are you in that summer camp feeling yet?
Not quite.
Not yet.
Probably tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to be a little bit more of a loner, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Counter to a lot of things that I've been telling you. I haven't found my homies yet.
Yeah.
I mean, Jackie Cation and I know each other, and she
Yeah.
and I we were supposed to have breakfast today, but she had some other podcasts to do, and then, so we may have.
Jackie
We're going
never
to have.
says no to anything.
I know she doesn't. She's constantly working.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to meet for coffee later, actually.
Yeah.
And I just met Beth Stelling for the first time on the on the way from the airport. So she's very nice, and I'm very much looking forward to working with her tomorrow night.
Yeah. I think that is just such a lovely pairing of you with Beth. I saw Beth last night at Stand Up on the Spot, and I'm planning on seeing that show, but I'm actually only planning to stay to see you.
Oh.
Because I know Beth is coming back in May.
Oh.
And so
okay.
I'm like, okay, because my schedule is so packed, trying to see as many shows as possible. I'm like, okay, I got to see Cathy. I know I can see Beth in May.
Right.
So it'll be okay to skip her. Plus, I got to see her last night. So I'm like, okay, it's fine.
Right.
It's fine.
What other shows are you seeing?
Oh my God, what am I not seeing?
Are you going to see Mark Maron? Are you going to see Mark Maron?
I'm not.
Okay.
I saw him maybe 2 years ago when he was a headliner.
Right.
So there are certain shows that I have to see every Moontower. Surrounded is one of them.
What's that?
Surrounded is Mike Falzone, who's also an LA comic.
Yes.
And there's a small room, the Velveeta room, and he basically puts all of the audience chairs around, and then in the center with a stool is where the comic performs.
Oh, cool.
And it's not crowd work. Well, it is crowd work. No, the audience isn't throwing suggestions out. The comic is just looking around and saying, oh, hey, you, what do you do? Or, you know, oh, that's a beautiful top. Tell me about it. Oh, is that your husband? Yeah.
So that's how how the momentum begins?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, which is, you know, kind of a
And who's on that show?
I think that show is every night. And the night that I'm going to see it, I think I'm seeing it tonight. I think Beth is going to be on it.
Oh, fun.
And it's always
that
really
sounds
fun.
great.
Yeah, it's a great. If you can fit it into your
I don't know
schedule.
what time are you seeing it?
I think it's like usually a 9-ish.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Stamptown is like the crazy variety hour show to see. And it always is later, and it's at State. I know you're not oriented just quite yet, but
I know the State Theater is right around the corner.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. So even
I am such an early.
I
I get tired so early, and then I wake up so early.
Oh yeah,
it's horrifying.
Yeah,
I mean, I got up at 6 today.
Oh,
I know.
And that's even adjusted for. Oh,
yeah.
Yikes. Well, I wake up usually at 4:30 just to go swim. Usually.
Oh wow.
But I was up so late yesterday that I.
Slept in?
Slept in till 8.
Nice.
Yes. It was very exciting. So yeah, I get the. All right. So one other thing that I noticed that you're doing this pajama series. I'm going to call it that. It's Breakfast with Cathy.
Oh, that's something I started doing and then I stopped doing it. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'm sorry. It's one. I know it's up on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yes.
you know, everybody's
Yes.
got something on. So you got bored with that.
I didn't get. You know what? Interestingly, I didn't get bored with that. I got shot down, and I listened, and that's probably. I'm going
wow.
to start that again. Damn it!
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing it again.
You do you.
Yes. Fuck that.
Yeah. Who shot you down?
I'm not telling.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fair. Okay. So Moontower, lots of shows, lots of great recommendations.
Yes.
Let's see. What are some things that are important to you that you want people to know about you?
Well, that I'm vulnerable. That I know I'm not perfect, and that's okay with me. That I'm a kind person. I mean, that's very important to me. It's really important to me to be a kind person. It's right up there with funny, I think.
One thing that hasn't come up at all in our conversation, but I think people should be aware, is you actually coach others.
Yeah, and I
So,
love it.
Yeah, I would imagine, because, you know, this conversation, you've been very open and willing to, you know, engage in my questions. So that, you know, if anybody is interested in that part of you, then that's, you know, kind of an indicator that, you know, you're a good coach and you've been in the industry, so you have a lot of...
I bring a lot to it, and I love helping. I'm really good at deconstructing jokes and finding what's funny about a concept and helping people figure out who they are on stage and fine-tuning that, seeing what they're doing that might not be as authentic. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that with and not necessarily with people who are brand new. I like doing it with people who have their foot in it already.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't have to name names, but is there somebody where you're like you saw that they made some accomplishment or reached some you know, I guess accomplishment, and you're like, oh my God, I was part of that journey.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's fun.
Definitely, yeah. It feels good, and I know I like doing things where I'm good at it, I'm good at something, and I'm also offering something valuable.
Yeah. And you went back to the teaching.
Yes, it's interesting. It's interesting, but not that other thing.
Yeah.
Not eighth grade English.
On your terms, on your schedule.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Paid commensurately with the experience that you bring.
Right. Yes. Definitely. Yeah, when I was a teacher in Philly, I was, I think I made $6,400 that year.
Wow.
You know, it's amazing to think about.
Do you watch Abbott Elementary?
I don't. And I know it's a very popular show.
Yeah, and it gives such great insight.
And doesn't it take place in Philly too?
I think so, yeah. It gives such great insight into the bureaucracy. And
yes,
the
I should take a look at it because it's highly acclaimed.
Yeah. It's a solid show. It has not dropped off at all, and it's
that's great.
I think this is the 5th season.
Wow,
so,
it's 5th already? Wow.
Yeah, and every season has like, you know, the 22-ish episodes.
That's
so it's a
great.
lot. Yeah. I love that show.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right.
Good for them.
Is there anything else before we
That
wrap
I want to tell
up?
you? No. Not really.
Well, let me ask you my closing question, which is one word to describe your future.
Oh my God. Fearless.
I like it. Is there something that you still feel like you need to conquer in your...
God, yes. You mean in myself or in the world?
Well, sure, both. I mean, the world, there's a lot to conquer.
Yes.
There's a lot to
But in
overcome.
myself, yeah. I think it's just to keep walking through my fears. I mean, I think that's what's made me who I am.
Yeah. Wow. This has been an amazing conversation.
Oh,
I'm
I've had
so
such a
glad you
good
responded.
time.
You know, so when I do these like reach outs, I'm like,
Yes.
I never know. You know, half of them,
Right.
nobody's ever going to read them. I was like, oh my God, Cathy
Oh,
wrote back. It
well,
was
that's
very
so nice.
exciting.
Well, I like to respond to people.
Yeah, I
and
appreciate it.
absolutely, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, well, that is a wrap on Comedy Wham presents Cathy Ladman. Cathy, tell us where people can find you and promote your upcoming projects.
Well, you can find me on my website, cathyladman.com, and on Facebook at Cathy Ladman. I'm on Instagram at Cathy Ladman1 because I made a mistake the first time and I forgot my password.
no.
I couldn't get back in, so it's Cathy Ladman1, and I'm just starting to build a Substack, but I haven't really dabbled that much. And I think I'd like to start working more on my YouTube channel and Substack this year.
Writing on Substack.
Yeah, writing,
back to
exactly,
it.
Back to writing, yep.
Awesome. Well, we hope you've enjoyed learning about how Cathy got to be and has been the comedic genius that you heard today just as much as I have. This has been Comedy Wham presents Cathy Ladman. I'm Valerie, and that's been funny. Thank you, Cathy.
Thank you so much, Valerie.